Welcome everybody at SoccerBeat, and we're talking Kaizer Chiefs, and Kaizer Chiefs have had a fantastic win over Magesi. And as Kaizer Chiefs fans outside there, if you're happy with Kaizer Chiefs' performance today, press the like button. If you like Tsepo Masilela, and if you like Brian Baloyi, press the subscribe button. And if you like me, stay till the end. Right, guys, first of all, legends. I know you've got really, really high standards for Kaizer Chiefs, and obviously all the fans out there have as well. But there's been a few records broken. And let me tell you right now, viewers out there, this is Kaizer Chiefs' best winning run since 2020. Kaizer Chiefs' best league form since 2015. And Zeb, I want to tell you, this is Kaizer Chiefs' best points per game ratio in a season since winning the title when you were playing in 2015. So it's like, obviously records can be looked at in many different ways. And, that's not like for like because the league was different and et cetera, et cetera. But these are still good results. But let's talk about the game. You're feeling, Tsepo, a good win against a bad team, but still a good win.
Definitely, Peter, still a good win, and it shows that the confidence is high in the Kaizer Chiefs camp. The only disappointment is how they conceded. I think it's a similar situation. If I'm not mistaken, against Richards Bay, right? It was a side free kick. Also last poll they couldn't deal with the ball. A header, so they have to work on that. And besides that, man, it was a dominant performance, scoring goals. Again scoring goals. We're happy that team is finally scoring goals, and that's what confidence does to a team. All of a sudden we seeing him do Shabalala that can score. I know people are saying the boy can't finish. He's finishing. And when you look at Mabue in the midfield, you look at the full backs, they look solid, Peter, and well done to the team and well done to the coaches as well.
Correct. Look, I think it's very important actually we just address that point because it's the only bad point in the game, but it's the kind of mistake that'll cost Chiefs in the derby against Pirates. And Tsepo, you are left back, Brian goalkeeper. This, as Tsepo says, it was booming goal last time. Yes, he fumbled it, but from a free kick, far post. Surely, as the goalkeeper, Brian, you've seen everything. Surely you just give a shout to your fullback and whoever's at the far post. There's a free man or there's a man running. And shouldn't they be standing, Tsepo and Brian, as a fullback with crosses there both times? Shouldn't they be standing side on so that they can look? Because the ball's not that important. In my opinion, the ball is not as important as where is the player, and you got to know where your player is so that if necessary, you got to take a step back to go forward. Just so, what would you do to sort that out? Because the second time, because that can't happen against Pirates. They won't score 2-3 goals. You can't go goal down.
Yeah, I mean, like Tsepo said, it's a dominant performance. But in terms of the goals conceded, honestly, if you look at the Chiefs' defense right now, the defense that we're playing today, there's no one player that is dominant in the air. If you look at, out of all of them, it would be just McCarthy. And McCarthy is the tallest out of them, and he's not that dominant in the air. Then you have, it's a Cross and Miguel. So something that Chiefs needs to work on, including if you look at the defensive midfields as well. You don't have people that are, dominant in the air, that are really, strong. So as much as you would look at a lot of the positives coming from the game, the negatives that the Chiefs would have to fix would be, dominating defensively with free kicks, with crosses, and of which sometimes, more especially, if Chiefs goes on to finish anywhere second, third, going back into KEF, you're going to have defenders that really dominate. With the keeper, I would give him a benefit of a doubt that he's a bit rusty, only his second game since his injury. But could have done better. But like I said, give him benefit of a doubt that he's still a bit rusty. And but one positive thing is, and that's what makes good teams that win or challenges for for the honors, being consistent with your team. Say in the last 3-4 games, the starting lineup has been consistent. Only 1 or 2 changes, of which it's understandable. But that's what you need. Then you have stability in the defense. You have stability in the team, and players start knowing each other, and they start ticking. And you can see the results of that when you're seeing the goals, some of the goals they're scoring from the last game to today. If you look at Mduduzi's goal, uh, 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 there was a bit of a combination play. So, and you can only be able to achieve such if the players are getting to know each other, and that's what Chiefs need.
Tsepo, in this game, if you, again, as Brian says, kind of same lineup, and also players who've been injured and out on the bench coming on and making the team look even stronger. In this game, where did Chiefs actually get it right, as opposed to, besides scoring the goals, and besides Magesi not being as good a team, but they've played other good teams, poor teams, and not scored 4 goals. Where do you think they got it right in this game in particular to build on for the next 2 games before, the game before this next game, Polokwane and the Derby?
But I think it's very important when you're dominating the opponent to try get that first goal before you go into the break, because you now the opponent is they are forced to play an open game. The earlier you score, especially against the so-called small team, now the game is open. You're able to find spaces. That's why they are able to create also many chances the second half. And again, well done to Silva. I was one of the person that was, critical of him during preseason. We were all not sure what is he gonna bring to this Kaizer Chiefs team. And look at that goal. Not only the goal to score, is bet against the goals, but he managed to to get that ball on target and behind the net. But I think once you get that first goal, you don't have to take your foot off the gear, off the pedal. Sorry, you have to go for a kill. And that's what we're seeing from a Kaizer Chiefs team lately. They get that first goal, but they keep on coming. They don't say, we scored that first goal, we go into a defensive mode. We're playing for that 1-0. Let's protect the lead. It actually gives them more freedom, more space, more freedom. And as I said, getting that first goal in the first half, it set them up nicely to score more goals.
I was watching the game, and obviously I'm on the line to a lot of people and some of my ex-teammates, and a lot of them commented that the player that they feel has made the difference to the energy of Kaizer Chiefs. The energy of Kaizer Chiefs is Duba, that he brings in, he up front, he's physically strong for his size, exceptionally strong. He works exceptionally hard. He may not be the most skillful player, but he's definitely got ability on the ball. He challenges for everything. He makes forward runs. He's in the box to try and score, and he's brought a different energy up front. He keeps defenders worried. And as a goalkeeper and a defender yourself, Tsepo, you know that if there's a lot of movement, and also I think the movement up front has been better because you got Lepo and Duba swapping sides. Silva is playing between the two 18-yard, the 18-yard box, making runs, causing problems. So that if your attackers, as you know from defensive players, if your attackers are doing that kind of positive work on and off the ball, it makes the whole game easier for the rest of the team. So I think he's been a big, your thoughts, Brian, has Duba been a big positive, especially since he's come back from that injury?
Yeah, he's been a big positive. But again, if you look at, I think for me, Chiefs have been clinical with finishing in the last 3-4 games, and of which that's what was missing beginning of the season when they were winning 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, and then started drawing a few games. That's what, and in those games, creating a lot more chances. If you look at the last 3-4 games, created more chances than the usual Chiefs that would create a lot of chances, but took the chances and scoring 3 goals, scoring 4 goals. So they've been clinical. Looking at Shaba has been clinical, scoring and assisting. So he's. I think they've got the monkey off the back. Where with Shaba starting to score, and then with the team again not being the 1-goal wonder, and so a lot of positives that are coming out of this revived Kaizer Chiefs. But for me as well, we spoke about with Tsepo and Masha the other day. We spoke about Lilepo, whether his best position is as a number 9 or on the side, and you can see today, even if you look at the Silva's goal, how he drifted to the left, and so he's more dangerous coming from the sides, whether it's left or right. And he's able to have those combinations as well with Da Silva. Chiefs look more enticing and dangerous going forward. My only worry is defensively. As much as today they were not that tested that much, ended up conceding, and so my only worry is defensively when you're going to be playing teams like Pirates and Sundowns.
I think I know you're a goalkeeper, and I know you belong to the goalkeeping club, and I know you're going to defend Peterson. But for me, a goalkeeper who comes for that kind of cross and holds it and then throws it out to the left back immediately, and you start an attack, the whole team gets lifted. Just as I say, when frontmen are doing that kind of work, when your goalkeeper's coming for that thing and flings it out straight away to that left back who bombs forward, your whole team's filled with confidence. So I think you're right. He needs 1 or 2 more games, but by the time the derby comes, he's got to be dominating those kind of crosses. Tsepo, if you this squad now, it's quite interesting. Actually, before I go to the squad, I want to say something, Brian. I reckon, subconsciously or consciously, the Kaizer Chiefs players and the coaches have been listening to you in particular, because you've been so forthright, and you've been forthright because you can, because you've got the history and the experience, and because you care, as you explained before. And I think if you look at the progress since you've been saying, sometimes you've got to be cruel to be kind, and you weren't cruel, but you've got to be honest for people to realize. And you can see a steady improvement. I'm not saying it's directly because of you, but certainly your words then have proved to be correct, because they've raised their game, and look what we've seen today. And long may that continue. My worry, though, Tsepo, is that, and this is the point I want to get, they rest on their laurels and they think, okay, we're a good team, we've broken these records. This game is over. Those records don't count for much unless you do well against Polokwane. And in particular, their cup final, as you both mentioned previously, is the derby, the cup final. So if you, Tsepo, were the coach at the end of this game, what would you be saying to your team at the end of this game, to the squad?
Oh, Peter, it's one game at a time, and it's only 3 points. We just won a game. We only get 3 points. What matters is, where do we finish come end of the season? Because what's the use of winning this game and then drawing the next 3, or lose 2, draw 1, then you drop again in the position? It's just to remain humble and keep on working hard. Because it's only 3 points, and there's a next game that's in front of us. We just have to take it one game at a time. And sorry, man, just to add on the Duba issue, when you're saying he's given the team energy, he's also a goal threat. When you look at the Chiefs with Modi is not so. Now you have a Duba, you have a Lulevo who chips in with goals, and you have a Shabalala. All of a sudden, your attack, if Lilepo doesn't get you a goal, you're banking on a Duba, maybe on a good day, he might give you that goal. But when you look at a Chiefs with a Modi, I know he works hard for the team. He's selfless, defensive duty, but he's also added the goal threat. Now that's why you also see the number of goals going up of Kaizer Chiefs.
Final word, Brian, from you to the Kaizer Chiefs fans.
Yeah, I think these are good days, and like I said last week, the only thing that will make supporters happy is beating Pirates and beating Sundowns. But I think I should mention it's good to see Mayo scoring. And we know what he can do. We know, what type of player and quality he is, and to see him scoring again as well is a good thing for the team. In seeing Duba coming back and scoring, so now you have a lot of options. I think the biggest thing for the squad now is the guys that are off the bench, that they should keep these guys that are on the field on their toes, and you can only do that when you're coming on as a sub. Doesn't matter if they give you 5 minutes or they give you 30 minutes. When you go on the pitch, you give your all, and that's what will keep Chiefs right up there to finish the season on a good note.
Fantastic, guys. Brian, I like the new look, by the way. You're looking super sharp. Viewers out there, Tsepo's also looking super sharp. I feel like I've got to cut my hair. If you want me to cut my hair, press the like button. But you're looking sharp. So we're Chiefs. Amakhosi fans, enjoy the victory. See you guys soon. See you on the weekend. Cheers.
SoccerBeat, what?